Welcome back to the channel, my friends. Warhammer Man Studios. I'm Warhammer Man, and today we're taking a look at this week's pre-orders, and they are live. This video is sponsored by the Game Bunker. More on that later. Alright, so we got a bunch of Warhammer 40,000 pre-releases coming up for pre-order today, and they are going to go quick. So let's go ahead and jump right in and take a look. So first off, we have the brand new World Eaters Codex. So $60 for the World Eaters Codex. That's going to come with your digital code, as well as all the brand new detachments, character sheets, all kinds of good stuff here. All the rules for combat patrol, beautiful art, all your rules. $60 for the World Eaters Codex. And then moving on from there, we have the Codex Death Guard. So once again, $60 for the Codex Death Guard. That's going to come with your digital download for the app. That's going to give you access to the full digital rules. We got some beautiful cover art. And again, all of the rules for everything from your 40k faction to combat patrol. Very, very cool. Definitely super excited for the new Chaos rules. And then moving on from there, we have the brand new dice. So first we have the World Eaters dice. You're going to get 16 of the World Eaters dice in a set for $33.50. They've got a nice red semi-translucent look to them with some cream colored pips. And then we have the World Eaters faction symbol on the 6 face. And then we also have the Death Guard dice. So these ones definitely a little bit more unique. We see these sort of pinkish color with the green pips. And then again, we have the Death Guard logo on the 6 face. 16 dice in a set, $33.50 for those. So very cool new dice coming out here. But of course, the dice boycott continues. And then moving on from there, we have the Datasheet cards World Eaters. So $35 for the Datasheet card World Eaters. We have all of the World Eaters Datasheet cards for your typical games of 40k. And then we also have the Combat Patrol Datasheet cards as well. We got a brand new Combat Patrol coming out. We got a bunch of new datasheets. We've got some big rules changes, faction cards, etc. Super excited for these. And then we also have the brand new Combat Patrol for the Emperor's Children. So this is the last of the releases for the Emperor's Children from this initial range refresh done by Games Workshop. This one's going to have 10 of your infractors, which can alternatively be built as the other option. You could run these in 2 squads of 5 or 1 squad of 10. And then we also have 3 of Flawless Blades, 3 more of the Flawless Blades with multiple build options. And then we have the Lord Exultant. So pretty nice box set right here, $170. Nice savings over MSRP, as you're basically getting one of the squads for free. And definitely a nice start or expansion if you already picked up the Emperor's Children Army Launch Box. I will definitely be securing one of these. And then moving on from there, we have the Combat Patrol World Eaters. So again, really nice box set right here. We have 10 of the Khorne Berserkers. We have 10 of the Jackals. We have 1 of the Demon Princes, which has all the different builds available. So you can build this as a generic Demon Prince, as any one of the faction-specific Demon Princes, World Eaters, Death Guard, Thousand Sons, or Emperor's Children. You also have the options for the backpack or on foot. And then alternatively, you can build him with the wings. And then last but not least, we have the Master of Executions. So again, really nice box set right here, $170. This will be a permanent part of the range. And then once again, you're basically getting 1 squad for free, so nice savings over MSRP. And next we have the Combat Patrol Death Guard. So $170 for the Combat Patrol Death Guard. You're going to get 1 of the Chaos Rhinos. You're going to get 3 of the Death Shroud Terminators. You're going to get a 7-man Plague Marine squad. And then you're also going to get the Lord Virulent. And then, of course, the Tallyman as well. So again, nice starter set for the Death Guard here. Going to go along nicely with the actual launch box coming out, or like the Battleforce box. Really good stuff in this box. I like always having a Rhino. The Death Shroud Terminators are great. The ability to get extra command points, a Terminator character, and then of course some classic Plague Marines. Lots of good choices in this set. $170, nice savings over MSRP. And then next we have the World Eaters Battleforce. So $240 for the Gorestorm Slaughterpack. And again, this is going to go along really nicely with the Combat Patrol. We're going to get 3 squads of 3 of the 8-bound, which can alternatively be built as the Exalted 8-bound. We're going to get 2 squads of 10 Jackals. And then we also have the new Slaughterbound character. So really nice box set right here. All infantry, but it will pair nicely with the actual Combat Patrol. Depending on what style and look you're going for with your World Eaters army, definitely a good start. You could always toss in Angron or Lord of Skulls. You could lean in heavy on the infantry. You could throw a couple vehicles in. The sky is truly the limit, and this is a phenomenal box set. Big savings over MSRP, excellent start to an army, and will pair very nicely with the Combat Patrol. Now a quick word from today's sponsor, Game Bunker. Game Bunker carries a full range of Games Workshop products, including miniatures, terrain, paint, tools, and more. Game Bunker offers 15% off MSRP for most Games Workshop products with the discount code WHMS. Receive free shipping in the continental United States on orders over $145. Online orders ship out within 24 hours. Game Bunker is a veteran-owned business. Use affiliate link below, enter discount code WHMS to save 15% on most items at checkout. For fast, friendly service with a discount on your favorite tabletop board gaming purchases, visit GameBunker.net and let them know that Warhammer Man sent you. And then moving on from there, we have the Death Guard Datasheet cards. So $35 for the Death Guard Datasheet cards. Again, beautiful cover art. We see like the green kind of foil on the edges. We see the Death Guard symbol on the backs. We have the Combat Patrol and regular Death Guard datasheet cards. These will go along nicely with the Codex, and I personally love the datasheet cards. Much easier to just pull out the like 5 or 6 or however many you need for your game and just play with those instead of have to be thumbing through the Codex nonstop. 35 bucks is a little bit steep, but honestly, it's worth it in my opinion. And then next we have Lieutenant Titus. So 42 bucks for Titus. This is the same model that was previously available in the Space Marine box set with the Tyranids. Now officially going to be available on the web store. 42 bucks for him. He is actually really nice as he is a basic lieutenant, but he fights a little bit harder in combat. And instead of giving lethal hits like the normal lieutenant does, he's going to give sustained hits, which is something that can't often be attained in the Space Marine Codex. Very cool model. Definitely big seller for like anybody interested in the Space Marine game, and a nice model to add to your army. And then moving on from there, we have the Codex World Eaters Collector's Edition already sold out. So 110 bucks for this. We have the special cover with Angron on the front. We have like a little bit more of a fancy presentation with the sort of metallic edges, the bookmark ribbon. Really nice setup right here. $50 premium just for the overall look of this though. Still going to have the digital code. Obviously this was in high demand. And then moving on from there, we have the Codex World Eaters Limited Edition. So this is the $250 bundle. Anybody that was after the 4 pieces of the medallion, the cool little objective markers, you're going to get access to the datasheet cards. You're going to get the actual Codex special edition as well. And then you're going to get the stratagem cards. You're going to get a nice little box to present it all in, and then some World Eaters prints. So definitely a cool product right here. 250 bucks, a little bit pricier than I'm willing to pay for it. I do think the presentation is awesome. I really like the idea of the objective markers, the icon, pendant pieces, and collecting them all. I really like that they've added in like the actual stratagem cards. But for me, just not worth it to pay an extra 190 bucks. The art prints are super cool. Obviously, these are in very high demand and very limited. So hopefully if you were after these, if you're trying to collect all the pieces of the medallion, you were able to get a hold of one. And then we also have the Death Guard Limited Edition Codex bundle. So $250 for the Death Guard set. Again, same thing inside. You're going to get your objectives. You're going to get a piece of the medallion. You're going to get the art prints, the actual Codex. You'll have the code in the Codex. And then you also have the datasheet cards as well as the stratagem cards. And then the cool slipcase cover and storage. Very cool. Beautiful art. Excellent product from Games Workshop. But again, the 250 bucks, just a little too steep for me for otherwise stuff that I just really don't need. Definitely to be picking up the Codex. I do like all the art prints and all the good stuff. Hopefully at some point in time, they'll sell the stratagem cards separately. But for me, just a little too much of a premium to pay for something that I either don't need or don't want. And then last but not least, we have the Death Guard Battleforce. So 240 bucks for the Death Guard Battleforce. Again, pairs really nicely with the Combat Patrol. Excellent box set right here. Great savings over MSRP. If you're looking to start a new Death Guard army, this is a great place to start. If you're looking to expand on the Combat Patrol or expand an existing army, again, really nice box set. The Death Guard Battleforce Poxwrought Vector already sold out, so hopefully you're able to secure one at store or online. You're going to get one of the Maiatic Blight Haulers. You're going to get one of the Plague Burst Crawlers. You're going to get one of the Belote Drones. 3 nice, unique Death Guard vehicles. You're also going to get the brand new Lord of Poxes. You're going to get 7 of the Death Guard Plague Marines. And then you're going to get 1 squad of the Blight Lord Terminators. So really nice box set right here. Not too much like redundancy between this and the Combat Patrol. Excellent start to a force. First access to the brand new character who will later be available for individual purchase. Really, really nice box set right here. Definitely going to be picking one of these up myself. Super excited for all of the Battle Forces. Battle Forces and Combat Patrols are always the best way to get into a faction or expand on what you have already. And these boxes are no different as they are absolutely amazing. So no big surprises here. We see a ton of sellouts in record time. We see the Death Guard box set already sold out. We see both of the limited edition Codex bundles. We see the collector's edition Codexes both sold out. I would imagine the World Eaters Battleforce is probably going to sell out relatively quickly. Everything else is going to be a permanent part of the range, so you shouldn't have any trouble getting a hold of them. The dice are definitely cool. Obviously super excited for the Codexes themselves and the datasheet cards. Let me know what you're most excited about, what you're going to be picking up. Always like to hear back from you guys in the comments. And hopefully everybody got a hold of what they were looking for this week, as they did go quickly. Special thanks to the Game Bunker for sponsoring the channel. Check out the link in the description to save 15% on most Games Workshop products with code WHMS at checkout. Warhammer Man Studios, I'm Warhammer Man, and I'm out of here.